Hey guys, so I just got the Warn Zeon 12 winch and pretty excited about the install. In fact, this is the box that it comes in right here. As you see, everything is pretty much marked easily. You got your 8, you got your 10, and then you also have your 12 right there. Then down here you've got everything that it comes with. Pretty easy. You've got your manuals, installation, safety instructions, all that fun stuff. Really important. You also have your the remote, the fair lead, then the entire hardware kit, which is pretty sweet because there's not a whole lot that really goes into installing this. And then you definitely have the entire winch itself with the leads that run to the positive and negative of the battery cable. So again, I've got the 12 for 12,000 pounds, and the main reason why I've got the 12 is because I've got a Nissan Armada here with 35-inch Toyo AT2s, which pretty sick tires, and I've got the Fab Fours front bumper, and it really was designed for the Nissan Titan, but I was able to fit it right on this with no problems at all. And so now the biggest challenge is probably going to be actually taking off the bumper, and then I've got my buddy here that's going to help me out. As you see, I got my gloves, but I've got 35s on here. And there's so much clearance that I have here, even with a 4-inch Pro Comp lift, that you can kind of see, the amount of room that I have there from the tire to, and that's probably about a good, 6 inches, 7 inches right there before anything even rubs. So, anyways, yeah, my next thing I'm going to do is get rid of these cruddy wheels. I'm going with RBP, and so that will be on the next one. But again, the winch is going to go right inside here, the Fab Fours front bumper for the Titan and the Armada. I made it fit, and so that's the entire thing, and here we go. Okay, well, it took me about 25 minutes to take off the front bumper. So what I did was, see, I've got a Fab Fours front bumper on my Armada, so if you guys have those on your Titans too, the system should be somewhat the same. So the 6 bolts that I took off actually are the 3 that go right inside here, 1, 2, 3, and then those 3, the bolt pattern for them actually goes right there, 1, 2, 3. Same thing on the other side, and it's a 5/8 I believe it is. But anyways, if you're getting a Fab Fours front bumper, it is pretty easy to install. In fact, you use a lot of the same factory mounts. So you get this metal bracket here, you get 2 of them, and let me bring my light down here. So as you can see, you've got the original bolt places where you would put this bolt in, one on this side, and then so that goes all the way around, wraps around the frame here. And then on this side you actually have 4 bolts, the 2 that you see right there, and then the 2 that go on the other side of the bracket there. So there's some nuts, washers and everything there, so that bolts right to the frame. Same thing on that side. And then another part of the Fab Fours kit are the lights, and so you get your fog lights and then your actual signal lights here. And so what I did was I just actually unplugged the one from the factory here. I don't know if you can see it anywhere in there, but so I just unplugged that and then just wired everything right into the factory. As you can see how I spliced everything there, so I'm gonna make that a better connection with just protecting that all from moisture and whatnot. And then there's the bulb that actually goes right into the signal socket right there. So that comes with about 10 little nuts, bolts, and washers, as you see here. And the design around on those actually is pretty cool. As you can see, all the these connections here. So those take the hex nut. So Fab Four supplies all the lights, the bumper, the brackets, and everything. So my Armada is a 2006, and there was nothing wrong with actually ripping this all off. It fits a Titan, but same front end as the Nissan Armada. So depending on what your year is, you may want to check that out. So right now what I'm going to do is get the bumper back straight, and then I'm going to go grab my winch and then assemble that right now. So again, from the bumper back on to about right now, it took about a half hour just to rip everything off. It was just one little turn at a time, a little tight space in there, but that's kind of what we're doing right now. So I'll kind of switch on to the next thing here. Okay, so what I did was just take off my entire front bumper and then just slide it all the way towards the forklift, and you see that green strap right there just holding it from rolling back this way. And so now the next thing to do is actually I just threw it in there really fast to see if it would clear everything. As you see, fits pretty good. Now what to do next is, it's not bolted in yet actually. What you're going to do now is put the nuts in on this side, and then also another one right inside here, and then there's actually another one on the front side. And so what you then do will, while the nut's in place, you go right inside here, and then you bolt, you can see my finger down there, you can bolt from the bottom on up to the nut that's going to be right in its groove, as you see, just like that. So there's 4 of those. And so now I've got the hardware pack right here, and just going to rip that open, and then just put those nuts in there, and just bolt it right up, and should be done here probably in the next 10-15 minutes. Okay, so I just bolted the rear ones, and also I just did the front ones. The really cool thing about the Fab Fours is that you can see the bolts, that go right up inside here. Screw those, bolt those down from the front side, torque to specs, and I think it's like 35 foot-pounds or something like that. You'll see that in the instruction manual. But the other thing to do now is just simply cut all the plastic here, free the clutch, and bring some of the wire out. And then what I'm doing at this time too is actually planning on where I'm going to run my power. And so there's my positive and negative. And so what I just did is just run them straight up here, and then coming down through there, back around here. And I just got them set up for right here, and then in a little bit I'm gonna obviously hook everything up once I'm done. But this just looks like it's really going to be in a pretty safe spot, nothing. So it goes down right through there, and then as you see, it comes down right there, and then just back right here. So that's something that you may want to do when you are definitely in the process of putting everything together. Just make sure you've got enough cable for your power. And so far it's pretty easy. It's pretty sweet. I mean, not that far into it. Okay, so I just cut the plastic piece that was holding the spool down. One of the things that you guys may want to take into consideration is actually putting your fair lead on first, just because on the back side of that you got the winch right there, and so to get back in there is kind of tight. I knew I was going to be able to do it just because I could get actually my open end wrench down on the back side to hold the bolt down, and then on this side get the locking washer and the nut on there. So it's I would probably recommend actually putting the fair lead on first before you do a lot of the other things. But depending if you have quite a bit of room to get in and out, you may want to again do that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the cable, pull it out, pull it through the fair lead, and put the hook on it. And the hook is just right over there, as you see. And then what I'm going to do next is test fit everything, and then everything's still kind of snug tight right now, so I'm going to torque everything down once the bumper's on there solid and level and adjusted. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So far we're about maybe an hour into all of this. Pretty smooth process, pretty cool. Well, I stopped recording last night because my battery died. But anyways, this is my Armada. Got some neighbor cutting some wood, but here's the winch fully installed. As you see there, you got the Warn winch in there, and got the fair lead and everything all hooked up. And so pretty sweet actually to be able to put this all in there, and not that difficult of a process. The only thing that was really difficult was taking the bumper back off and then putting it back on, and then just simply putting the light bulbs back in for the fog lights and the signals. And so all total it took me about 2 hours to do this, and it was just me super late last night, got done around about midnight or so. And I had a forklift, so if you guys are going to do this, you guys got a big beefy bumper. I've got, again, mine from Fab Fours. It fits the Nissan Titans, and fortunately for me, I've got the ability to throw this on my Nissan Armada, and it's just a really sweet setup. Yeah, everything's beefy, bulky, and we're here at our house here in Utah, and as you see, we've got snow in the mountains, and so really excited about taking this out and taking some awesome photos with it. So definitely excited about using the winch now. Again, it's a 12,000 pound. And going over to warn.com, and the cool thing about the Fab Fours is you see there's my lever there to release the clutch or engage it. to pull and tow, or then pretty much my remote hookup is just going to go right through this hole right here up on top, I believe. Or is it on this side? Oh yeah, it's actually on this side, back up here. So just go right there, hook everything up, and so that's pretty much all the steps in the process to hook up the winch and bolt it on. It's really just a nut and bolt job, so it's pretty easy. Have a good one, guys, and subscribe so you can check out some other things. The next thing I'm going to be doing is actually getting rid of these crappy 20-inch wheels and putting on some RBP wheels, possibly the grill from RBP, and definitely the exhaust and a few other pretty awesome things coming from them. So looking forward to installing those and building the ultimate photography rig.